When you enter the chat, make sure you like the video for us
Is my
because we're
microphone
gonna be talking about some crazy stuff as always. Is it on?
on? Now it is. Shalom, shalom.
Yes. So yes, welcome guys. So we got some things to play for you guys here on the laptop. Just like we're not gonna do it like the last one where we try to show video and stuff, but we're just gonna go right into it, right?
Yeah, I mean, this is crazy because first it starts with when they did the stimulus checks in 2020, 2021. I think that was it. Did they do one in 2022? I think it was just 2020, 2021. They said after when the inflation increased at 6%, and then this year it's at 3.5%, they were saying that that's all because of the stimulus checks they were sending. And so, why now are they also printing more money? You know, they just funded Ukraine a couple $1 billion, like 98, I shouldn't say a couple, $98 billion.
96 or 91 or something like that.
$98 billion. Was it last week we did that video, 2 weeks ago? So we have that. And then just Friday, Chicago City, according to CBS News, Chicago City Council approved 70 million more in migrant funding. Now, this is just the city that did that. This isn't Illinois as a state.
Yeah, shalom, shalom.
This is the
Welcome,
city
guys. Good
of
morning.
Chicago.
Good afternoon.
So this is going to be a huge issue. And this is why we're saying to you guys, we would leave before the election if we were y'all. It's April. Y'all got May, June, July, August, September, October, November. You got 7 months. That's a good number.
Yeah.
That's a good time that you have to work backwards and analyze and see, okay, how much money do I have saved? How can I start my freelancing journey? What can I be doing now so that I'm in position? And if you're one of those people that's like,
Shalom,
well,
shalom,
I
family.
love America, all these things, that's fantastic. At least diversify and visit the continent and get into these other economies and other areas so that when stuff completely goes insane, you have options. Because the thing about African migrants that come to America, they have their tribe they can go back to. We have African clients, Nigerian, Ghanaian, all these different clients, right? And so if stuff hits the fan for them in America, they have a tribe to go back to. They have a country in Africa to go back to. So they're leveraging the best of both worlds. But us as Black Americans, we're not leveraging both worlds. Some of us are, we're leveraging both worlds. But if you're not leveraging both worlds, you're going to be in trouble. Yes, this is an uncomfortable conversation. What do you have to say about that?
Yeah, just like the title say, what is going to be left for the people that they always oppress? Like really, like you gotta like people gotta think about that. Like man, it's really nothing gonna be left if I remember like a couple years ago, they was putting Asians more
Oh yeah,
than
yeah,
black
yeah,
people.
yeah.
You know, just
They had some kind of
every kind
funding
of
or
every kind of race.
yeah.
Um, even Africans. Some Africans. I remember growing up in middle school, and some Africans they would come from like Somalia and stuff, and they would like not have to pay taxes, not have to do certain things and still get money.
In Columbus, Ohio.
Yeah,
Because Columbus is listed as like a hotspot for both Somalians and
exactly.
Ethiopians.
So it was just like, man, African Americans. That's what they title us, African Americans. They don't care about us. So you really gotta figure out a plan before it's too late. If you ask me, I truthfully I think it's too late because being over here, you have to be over here to learn how to move around.
Right.
You can't just
Right.
come over here and everything's gonna work out. Y'all willing, it will, but um, I really truly believe if you was called to be over here, you would have been over here
Wow.
doing what you got to do to learn how to move around the society, the culture, and everything like that. So yeah, it's just getting serious. It's just getting
Wow.
serious. So I hope you guys listen. The people that tunes into this, you really got to be serious about this because it's just gonna come up one day super fast, and it's gonna be right in front of your face. Like, dang, I should have left when I had the chance.
Yeah.
Like, man, we hear people all the time. Remember, we had a consultation with that lady, or I think I did.
Okay.
I think I was like at the mall when I had to go outside the mall,
Okay.
and she was saying this lady was basically saying, um, she had fun. She got some kind of big check, and she was like, okay, I'm gonna go to Africa, but she wanted to move or something, and she had to buy furniture and stuff like that. So her money went down, and then she was saying, oh, like I guess she was praying to the Most High, saying, man, if you give me another big lump sum of money, I'm out of here, And then it happened. She got like 15,000, and then she didn't do nothing with it, but she prayed
Ooh, that
and
fear.
asked for it, and then when the Most High provides it, no.
Fear is a plague. Fear is like
So
an invisible plague.
we hear it all the time. You really got to step out on faith. You really
Yeah.
got to do it. All this is practice. All this is really practice.
Yeah, that's crazy because, yeah, and Americans have a level up on other immigrant nations just because of the fact that the US dollar is stronger. And so imagine being an immigrant coming from Africa, coming from South America, where their currency isn't stronger, but they make it work. So you have everything you need to make it work. But America is such a fear based, toxic society that you think you can't survive without the European man
Yeah.
in America.
If you think America is a toxic place, like the video.
Yeah, I
If you
mean,
don't like it.
I don't know who wouldn't think that unless you're like under a rock,
Yeah.
literally, and just completely in darkness. But that's not the point. Y'all know I get on that in
Yeah, I'm
every
playing, but
video.
make sure you like the video, guys, when you come in the room. Good afternoon, good morning to everyone. Shalom, shalom.
Yeah,
Peace be with
shalom,
you.
fam. Let's go ahead and play
And
this
yeah,
video because CNBC, this was just released 2 days ago. So it's relevant. This is for the folks that come on our channel. We get so many folks. Y'all look at the comments. Y'all gonna see what we do. We get folks that come in the comments. Oh my gosh, America is the best place in the world. Why are you telling black people to move? Why are you telling white people to move? No, we're gonna stay here. We're gonna fight. Da, 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 da. Okay, we're gonna play this video and let us know what you think.
On some revenue growth, increasing taxes may be an option.
It's called U.S.
Short of
cities
that,
are
they're
going
gonna have to
broke.
cut services or benefits.
Why are so many U.S. cities going broke? And what will that mean for residents of our biggest and busiest places? Running a major city is expensive. For an example, look at New York City. With over 8 million residents spread across 5 counties, it has to pay for more than most.
It's a dense, diverse place that requires a significant investment in the public realm.
Brad Lander is Comptroller of New York, the top accountant for the city. Comptrollers review every financial aspect of city government. In the case of New York, that includes over 1,700 parks, over 200 library branches, 11 acute care public hospitals, 472 subway stations, and about 177,000 affordable housing units.
Wow.
Like many other parts of the U.S., New York City sells municipal bonds to fund many of these projects.
The city's bonds are like your mortgage, for long-term expenditures, something that you're going to use over generally 10, 20, 30 years. You borrow for it.
Here's how it works. Investors foot the bill for the city's general obligations. The city promises to pay them back later on with interest.
We pay the interest on our bonds, but then we can use those bonds to build schools and invest in our water and sewer infrastructure.
Wow. So basically, they're using debt to fund everything in New York City. America is literally a debt-based society from the inside out. But the thing with debt is debt doesn't produce more money in and of itself. And there was also a study that came out recently that said Americans have been in more credit card debt since ever before. So people, and that's a clear indicator that people don't have money. So that even if you make 70K, $100,000, $200,000 a year, those costs go up because to make that kind of money, usually you have to be in like San Francisco, New York City, where the cost of living is insanely higher. And then with the cost of living going up, you're also paying for the whole, how can I say it, keeping up with the Joneses effect that happens when now you got to wear the expensive clothes. Now you got to wear the expensive bags. Now you got to have the expensive house insurance because the house is worth more. So now your house insurance rate goes up. And so you make more and everything else increases with it. And so that's why we say the only way to have leverage is to leave America and leverage the US dollar in another country, because that's the only way it's going to work. The US dollar, there's no leverage when you're in America.
Yeah. And like been here, the time we've been here, we really see people with money. Like it's no credit. There's
Right.
nothing.
Cash.
Cash. They make cash.
Yeah.
They make
Cash.
money. Like If they say, "Oh, I make 100,000," they can show you like 100,000 in their hand.
Right.
Like it's not like yeah, or worth of assets, I should say, too. So, um, yeah, like being here in Africa, it shows you like, man, it's really people here that really got some money. It's really millionaires here that they're not even phased about what's going on because they're used to making the money that they making year after year.
But Americans believe, because people say it's in the comments, the pride of America. People say, oh, well, they're dependent on US dollar. I could tell you 5,000% they're not. What do you guys say about that? People that
I,
think that Africans are depending on US dollar.
no, because this is their homeland. So I can see if someone left Africa at like went to college or something in England or America or whatever, UK or whatever, um and they come back. Of course they probably got used to that making US dollar and stuff, and then come back, it's like, dang, I kind of do need that because they didn't have the connections, or they probably do have connections, but the people that stayed here on the continent making money and doing business deals and building stuff, they got the connections,
Yeah.
and a connection is better than money.
Yeah, it really is in Africa. Connections are currency in Africa, networking. But I mean, it's also like that in America. It's like that anywhere you go. You can't see money as the main and only resource. Money is just a tool to do your business, to live your life, to support your family. It's literally just a tool. And so that's also a mindset that people have to come out of when they're trying to leave America, because you come from a society that is completely poisoned with debt and consumerism, to the point now that people have more credit card debt now than ever before. And so, although they're saying in these different outlets on Fox, oh, the unemployment rate is so low. Well, are people actually able to afford their cost of living? Because one hand, the employment rate is low. On the other hand, people have more credit card debt and delinquencies than ever before. And the delinquency means that their house, their mortgage is not being paid, their car is not being paid, their credit card debt not being paid. And so you have these statistics that are skewed. This is another reason why you need to be a critical thinker to analyze what these people tell you. They say, oh, unemployment rate's low, but they're only employing part-time and contractors, while you're only diligent enough and only have the skill set to be a W-2 employee. That means you need to change and do some freelancing and start your business and diversify your life and diversify your skill sets instead of just depending on a W-2 all the time.
Exactly. Do not depend on that.
Yeah, it's not dependable, because you see these tech companies, they're going to continue to do the layoffs. They're going to continue to bring AI in. They're going to continue to have people, Black folks, and I've been in some of these rooms recently where people are like, oh, yeah, I could get paid a lot to go and teach AI to go make jobs obsolete.
Go ahead. I do it. I mean, I really haven't met anyone like that.
I was just in a group last week. It was a business group, and a guy, he was saying that he was LGB, something, whatever. And so he was saying how he had been trained by Microsoft and he was ready to train the robots on how to make jobs obsolete in Microsoft for humans. Now he don't care because he has the individual mentality. Oh, I'm gonna get paid, $300K a year. I'm gonna be good. This is why it pays to have an African mindset, a biblical mindset, where you're not just caring about if you get paid. Okay, who cares if you get paid 300K? What about the rest of Black America? What about the rest of the Africans on the continent? What about the rest of the people in the world when you make these things obsolete like that? And so he was going to go in and train, do this whole program about like teaching AI how to do whatever AI stuff that needs. I don't even understand what it was because I'm not that technological, but it was just like, oh, this stuff crazy. This stuff really crazy. So America is soon going to become a society that is AI and robot centered, and humans are secondary.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You want to be a secondary class citizen to a robot?
Yeah, they tell you right in the movies. I know somebody was saying iRobot, the movie iRobot.
That's a good movie though. Yeah, we should watch it.
But that's basically how this world is that the world is headed that way. Like they tell you that I'm pretty sure people that's watching this, they know from all the information that's starting to come out, right? They know. They tell you stuff in the movies. They tell you stuff, right? The truth. But
Shame.
people just don't want to listen.
It's a shame. It's
Like
so
really.
bad. I'm in Florida right now. I watched the movie Civil War. The regular people had no sense and did not prepare. I mean, that's Americans today. Americans absolutely have no sense because you come out on these other places in the world and they have common sense. They're stronger than Americans because they're not in the house all day. They know how to farm, they know how to be self sufficient. We've been around tribes and people who literally can go up and down mountains without it being a big deal.
Yeah, without
So,
stopping.
American society.
Old people too.
Yeah,
And
old
young
people, right?
Yeah, like
Who you
old
think's gonna be
ladies.
surviving this
They
stuff?
be having.
Yeah,
Remember we saw that?
yeah, those
She had
grandmas.
logs on top of her head,
Yes,
just walking like a whole mile and a half.
yes.
I'm like, oh wow.
And us
They
Americans,
gotta do that every
ooh,
day.
over there in the West, like, oh, it's the best country. Guess what? There will not be many more Americans left on the face of the world after you go through these difficult years in the next 2 to 3 years. A lot of folks already became obsolete, rest in peace, when they took that injection and started having heart attacks at 24 years old. And so you're going to inevitably have a society that's dying, and this isn't debatable. Look up the American demographics right now and see if America's population is growing because you're going to quickly find it's not growing. Just like Japan, just like Spain. And now this is something that's very hard to reverse.
Yeah, I believe that's why they're bringing in all the migrants.
Yeah, that's what Lisa Cabrera was saying. Shout out to her YouTube channel because it didn't make sense to us for so long. We're like, what is the point of bringing in millions and millions? You're shipping them on boats, you're flying them in, they're getting loaded on bus rides. Let us tell y'all. First, y'all drop in the chat why y'all think so many migrants are being let in. We'll give you all a few seconds. And then we're going to tell you this theory. This was from Lisa Cabrera's channel, and it's crazy. Like, it makes perfect sense now. Because if you have a population that's not growing, which is the American population, now America itself, the U.S. government, the Treasury, the IRS, the all the folks that take out the taxes, if Americans are not repopulating, the folks don't get paid. The only reason they want you in America with your social security number is so you can be a product of the American government, so that you can pay them.
Yeah.
Pay them in taxes. How much y'all paying Sam, Uncle Sam? We do too. It's unfortunate, but you have to.
I mean, you gotta give Caesar's what Caesar's.
How much do we pay him? Now, if Americans are not repopulating and Americans are only having 1.5 children on average, which is not enough to replace the next generation. So think 30 years from now, there's not going to be enough humans. And so they're like, wait, where are we going to get our money from?
Yeah.
Bust them migrants in, bust them folks. Come on over. Y'all come on. Y'all can be the new Americans. We're going to replace these old ones because they're not repopulating. They're not even acting right no more. So, y'all ain't working out for us no more. So we're going to bring in some new ones. And then our people are like, let's continue fighting. That's a losing battle.
Yeah.
You don't have to fight your whole life. You can enjoy life. You are worthy of enjoying life and spending your days with joy. You don't have to go fight some institution for your whole life and then pass away at 50. What is the point of that? You weren't sent here on earth just to go fight some institution. You were made to worship the Most High and to live your best life in His garden and to go back to Him. But in America, it's just becoming literally impossible to even be able to live a sustainable, peaceful life like that.
Yeah, it's not possible. A lot of stuff is not possible in America anymore. They say it's a country of freedom. You can do whatever you want. Not no more. Not no more.
I mean, it never was though. When was ever a good time in America's history for Black people?
For the right people, for the right people.
Yeah, for slave owners.
Yeah,
their descendants.
It was never good for us.
But now it's not even good for their descendants. Now they're even looking like, oh gosh, because in Chicago apparently they said that most of the Black people, they're ready to vote for Trump, and so it's like, I don't know. I guess I don't know. If I were y'all, I would leave. I wouldn't vote for Trump. That's pointless. I don't know. I don't know what to tell folks. We still voting.
Who?
Our folks,
Oh, I was
not
about to
us.
say,
We ain't voting.
I ain't never
No,
vote.
I ain't either. We not. Look, that
Yeah,
ain't got nothing to do with me.
but yeah, the upper hand is gonna choose whoever they want anyway. So that's just what it is. That's really what it is.
Yep, exactly. And so, if everybody thinks America, I implore you guys, definitely travel outside of America if you think everywhere is like America. If you've never been out of America, you've never been out of the Northern Hemisphere, please do yourself a favor and expand your mind so that you can see in these villages in East Africa and South Africa, villages in Spain, Portugal, that are not reliant on the government all like that, with thousands and thousands of people, not really in Spain and Portugal because those populations are dying, but in sub-Saharan Africa, people that are not reliant on any institution. And they're repopulating. And so obviously any society cannot be a society without humans. And so when humans become obsolete in the West, then you don't really have a society. The only societies that are left are those in Africa and India. So that's where the world's heading. That's just plain, that's just basic math. That's just basic understanding. That's just what it is. It's unfortunate for America, but it was a country that was built on killing, slavery, and bloodshed. So what do you expect other than the Most High to repay it for that face to face? And that's what he's doing, which, you know, it is what it is. It's awesome because the righteousness of the Most High is going forth. But for our people, if you're on the wrong side of that and you can't comprehend wisdom and understanding and let go of your idols, then it gets a little difficult. But I got another video. Now, this one's called People Have Stopped Paying Their Bills from Michael Borden. This was just 12 hours ago. Like, the Fed in Chicago is super, super concerned because Americans ain't paying their bills.
Look, just imagine that. Just imagine everybody just don't pay nothing.
What happens?
Don't pay no electric, no water, no car note, no
they ain't got the
credit
money
card.
to do it.
Yeah, but just imagine if everybody stood up and said no. That's hard to imagine because it is always gonna be that one person. You know, they come out with a lot of stuff that say, okay, everybody agrees. Yes, everybody agrees. And then it just be that one person in secret that doesn't. So yeah.
Well, that's what's
But
happening.
yeah.
They ain't paying their bills.
Yeah.
And yet, while folks aren't paying their bills, they're still sending out billions to Israel, Ukraine, and the migrants. So America is going through a little crisis right now. Don't mind the institution. They're just a little bit stressed, y'all. They a little bit stressed out.
It's okay.
They're a little stressed out. So we're going to listen to this video.
Make
leave
sure
a
you
comment.
Make sure you leave a comment and let us know what you think. Give us a like if you enjoy what we're talking about.
People have stopped paying their bills. Ready, set, go.
They're celebrating the fact that people are going broke right now, when you look at it that way, because people are spending money they don't have, which makes the GDP go up. If they didn't have access to credit cards or pulling money out against the 401k or home equity loans or home equity lines of credit, how robust do you think the spending would be in this economy then? Not too great, I'm assuming. And one thing I hear in the comments a lot is people are saying, like, oh, all the stores and restaurants near where I live are still full. It's still slammed. Well, think about this. Number one, if you live in like a very touristy area like I do, it doesn't really mean anything because people are coming from all over the world to spend money in those places. But let's assume for a second that you live in a normal area, a regular town in the Midwest or whatever. How many of those people that are out spending that money actually have that money to spend? Or are they borrowing that money to keep fueling a lifestyle that they got used to during the pandemic? Because don't forget, you know, for a while there, people were getting paid more money to stay at home and not work than they did at work and got used to a certain level of comfort and a certain level of lifestyle that people are still trying to hang on to now that, you know, we're getting hit with reality again. People have to work for the money and they have to borrow the difference that they don't have in order to continue fueling that lifestyle. So things are not always as they appear, guys. Just because it looks like people are doing well and your neighbors are buying brand new cars doesn't necessarily mean that they are doing well. We saw a lot of this bubble type of behavior right before the GFC, where a lot of people looked to be rich, but they were spending money they didn't have either. It was easy to borrow money against your ever increasing home, which seemed like the bottomless piggy bank, which was proven not to be true. And it will be proven not to be true again this time around. But this creates big problems for the Fed, guys, because the Fed has been doing nothing but talking about how they're going to be lowering interest rates this year. If consumer spending were to weaken considerably, that would be a blow to the economy. And a slowdown in spending could in turn further complicate the Fed's thinking on where interest rates go next. Well, to me, if spending slows down enough, the Fed's probably going to do what they always do, and they're going to lower interest rates. But the problem with that is we already have inflation that is way too high, and they're just going to make inflation even worse. And guess what, guys? Things are not going in the direction that they wanted to go, because the Atlanta Fed projected that the GDP was going to grow at 2.7% during the first 3 months of 2024, which would be cooler than expected, okay? But they say would still be solid. But guess what? The real numbers just came out, and it is far worse than they actually expected. The real GDP growth was only 1.6% in the first quarter. So think about that. They were projecting 2.7. It's only 1.6, and the 2.7 number they were expecting was actually lower than they wanted to be. So imagine what this is going to do now. You know, what's happening is everybody's getting the wake-up call now, and these companies and the Fed and the government is starting to realize that people really don't have the money. Like I've been saying and other people have been saying here on YouTube, it's true. It's not fake. I saw several comments in my video the other day about the home insurance prices in Florida, and I don't know how many comments I saw, people saying, oh, you're lying. These numbers are fake. This is BS. Like, okay, guys, those numbers I showed in that video are real insurance quotes from a real insurance agent here in Florida. It doesn't get any more authentic than that. Somebody who goes to buy that house is going to get those same numbers for their insurance quotes. So people don't want to believe that this is happening, but whether you believe it or not doesn't matter, because it is happening whether you like it or not. And why do you think the GDP is starting to go down? Well, it's because inflation. It's because people don't have the money to continue spending like they did before, guys. And I think the jig is almost up when it comes to people borrowing on the credit card and people borrowing against the 401k and borrowing against the house. I think we saw a lot of that start at the beginning of last year, and now a lot of that stuff has been exhausted too. You can only go so far in debt before creditors won't let you take on any more debt. That's
it. Look, but we know not everybody will understand, because a lot of people in America are under the slump of American pride and patriotic, that mindset, being a patriot. And so it's going to continue to get worse. Like, it's like, imagine going downstairs and you're just walking down the stairs, but then you like trip down the steps. That's America right now.
That's a good example.
You walking down the stairs and then you trip down the whole flight. That is America right now.
Yeah.
And if y'all don't wake up, this is why we come to y'all, because we don't want y'all to be foolish. There is no wisdom in seeing a crashing country and then saying, oh, well, I love America.
Yeah. That's what he kind of said in the video. That's why I was laughing. Because people don't know how to accept the truth, or they don't
just be humble.
They don't want to know that that's the real numbers, or just say, like, they don't want to know the truth. And that's just what it is. That's prophesied. People just don't want to know the truth.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
And it's crazy to think about.
They're
like,
in love
crazy.
with the whore Babylon. In love. That's the definition of being, what's that term? Crazy in love?
Insane.
Insanely in love. That's that. When you see these American patriots, y'all, you look at how folks are living in Europe. They're not living in a debt-based society. The white Americans, y'all need to go back to Europe. Black Americans, y'all need to go back to Africa, straight up.
Yeah. I say the only place that's really like is Africa, because we see a lot of stuff going on in the world. Let's say like Japan, for instance, right?
Mm-hmm.
Their airport is sinking into the ocean. I don't know whose idea was to build an airport on like ocean, but yeah, but it's sinking. So their currency is not. It's just falling.
I
So
mean,
everything
Japan
else is
isn't
just
repopulating.
yeah.
So even if their currency is strong, there's not going to be enough
But
Japanese people
it's
left.
stuff like that is happening everywhere.
Yeah.
Like really everywhere.
Yeah.
Besides
is.
like Africa, I mean,
It
you,
is.
you hear about
Except
floods
India.
and stuff and things like that, but
India and Africa.
yeah. Yeah. It's
India and
just coming
Africa.
back to the ancient days.
Right. These ancient kingdoms, India and Africa, they're going to be, we telling y'all, they're going to be the last ones left. Look out 30, 40, 50 years from now, things are going to be looking a lot different. And y'all, if y'all want to watch the rest of that video on people have stopped paying their bills, we linked it in the description, because it's just, you have white Americans telling you, you have us as Black Americans telling you, you have people in India probably telling you, and y'all, some people won't get it until they can't do anything and it's too late. And so you have to go into this like psychosis of, oh, everything's great in America, everything's good, even though a loaf of bread is like $12.
Yeah.
Like that's not good. That's not normal.
Some eggs is $12.
And if it's not $12 yet, it will be soon, because that's just the rate that inflation is going, because they keep dishing out money. They keep doing things that are not wise, dish out money to 3 different countries.
Yeah, somebody said before you leave America, where's your microphone?
I don't know where my microphone is. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, somebody said two or three jobs
is not the solution.
Because we know someone that went back and they had to work like 80 hours a week.
Ooh.
Just to try to get ahead.
Yeah.
That's tough to think.
That's difficult. That's wild.
I had to reconnect. And that's what it is. People got to really reconnect with their inner truth.
Yeah, if you can't,
they got to find your inner truth. You know, find the heart that the Most High gave you guys.
Yeah.
To accept the truth, to humble yourself, and really seek peace. Like we always say, you really got to seek peace, and He will lead you back to somewhere where it's peaceful.
Yeah.
We believe it's Africa.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely 100% Africa. And, you know, let me just read this scripture. It's one of my favorite scriptures, Jeremiah 6:16. If y'all get time today, even if you're someone that's like, oh my gosh, the Bible's a white man's book, okay. Just read this scripture, read this chapter, please. So serious, please. Why are you laughing at me? I'm so serious, please, y'all. If y'all don't do nothing else, please. Jeremiah 6:16. Thus says Yah, stand in the highways. Another term is crossroads. And when you're at a crossroad, it's split in 2 different directions. You're at a crossroads. And so you have to make a decision. Stand in the highways or the crossroads and see. Ask for the old path. Where is the good way? And walk in it, and you will find rest for your souls. But they said, what they say? We will not walk therein. Don't be that person. Please don't. Please, seriously. And I know only the remnant's going to get it. I get it. That's fine. But hopefully, if you're the remnant, if you have any inkling in your heart that could be humbled from the American pride, Leviathan spirit, then just repent and turn from it, because there's no fruit. The fruit of America has been the destitution and the destruction of indigenous people around the world. And she's still funding it across the world. And so there's no possible way in your mind, if you're saying you can say that America is the best nation. What are the requirements for being the best nation? The best at destroying other nations? The best at killing indigenous folks?
Man,
what is the best? Like, somebody please tell me. What is the best?
What's the best?
And you can't hold money as an idol. School.
Yeah, you gotta save. Somebody said saving. You gotta save like this lady here.
Yeah, I'm obsessed with
the
saving
other
now.
day.
I love it.
Let me tell you a story, guys. The other day, it was Friday. Yeah, Friday. This past Friday, we got a shop. You know, it's the Shabbat and stuff. We got to make sure we got some food. Man, wait, look. We only got $25. I'm like, what just happened to all the money we just got paid? Oh, I put it in savings. Girl, if you don't put in some more money so we can go shop and make sure we can survive this weekend, Oh, I'm sorry. I just put in savings. I get it, but we only got $25. We gotta get some food.
Why are you so funny?
Cause she was
I
serious.
want to live on 10% of our income.
She was serious. She was serious. I'm like, babe, look, you thinking like
Oh
this? Look,
gosh.
I don't know how we about to survive with all these children. Ooh,
Those savings that look, savings is good. I just became obsessed with savings, y'all. It's great. I just love it.
I know you do,
I just look at the accounts like, wow, this is so great.
but
Let's save some more.
we just gonna have a $1 a day.
Yeah.
What? That's a look. She saying everybody get $1. That's $7. We got spend $7 amongst our family, huh?
I think it'll work out. One word.
We tried, but I don't know.
Oh god.
But yeah, you gotta
You're making
really
me cry. You're hilarious.
no, that's you.
Okay.
But you really gotta be like that. You really gotta save
Mm-hmm.
into the lot. You gotta get an account where you can, pull from your savings if you really, truly, 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 truly need it. Because I know some bank accounts, you gotta wait like 24 hours or 2 days or
Right.
something like that.
Yeah. Investing accounts too.
Yeah,
You gotta
so
wait.
you gotta be like that. Just really, you gotta
Yeah.
learn how to survive. Eat once a day.
You don't gotta eat once a day.
See, look, I'm trying to help people save.
Once a day?
Yeah, maybe once a
You
day.
complain about my savings, but you said
Maybe
once
eat
a
at
day.
12 o'clock, 1 o'clock.
I ain't
A big
doing
old
that,
meal. You
y'all.
be good. You save.
You'll be doing that.
You'll save.
You eat
I'm
once
talking
a day?
for people that really want to save
Oh,
and
okay.
come over here.
The folks, okay.
You gotta sacrifice. You gotta sacrifice though.
Because you don't eat once a day.
I used to, but we good. I don't have to eat once a day. Man,
You're funny.
I try to eat twice a day though.
You try.
Yeah.
You eat lamb every day. I just put you on
No, I
Front Street
don't.
with that.
I
Yeah,
don't.
you be barbecuing the lamb.
But yeah, guys,
Mm-hmm.
try to get in the groove of saving. Don't try to eat out a lot. Cook some rice and beans.
Yeah.
Like really, like simple meals will really help you save also.
Yeah, and this is how people in Africa eat. And so they do have a little bit of leverage because they're already used to surviving in America. And you're like, how do they come up so quick? They come up because they know how to survive, they know how to save. I never knew that people could save this aggressively until we landed in Southeastern Africa, in Eastern Africa, now in Southeastern Africa. People will literally, because it's not a credit based society, so they will work and put all that money in their savings. Now you thinking, oh, they don't really have a lot of money. They done saved it all. They saved it all. Then they go in cash and build their house, and you like, wow, you're debt free.
I thought you was broke. I thought you was wearing the same shoes for 2 years. I've been seeing you wear the same shoes for 2 years. You only every time we go out, you just get the rice, nothing else,
And some tea, some
and
chai.
some tea. Where did you get all this money from?
They saved it.
They really saved it.
They really saved. That's how we learned how to save. Moving to Africa teaches you how to save. Because when you move out of America, you should come with a humble mindset. Let me go learn from these people because America didn't teach me nothing that's worthwhile.
Yeah.
Other than how to be a super overboard consumer. Debt collection, debt, all this. But at this rate, people stop paying their bills. So I don't know what happens, but it's like a big wall of debt that's just gonna fall down. And so I don't know. What do y'all think happens when just people stop paying their bills for months? Are they gonna do stimulus checks? Are they gonna bring in more migrants? Are they going what's gonna happen? I just want to know what's gonna happen. I'm very curious. Like, what's the end result of that? And then you also have just the stress of America because the Gen Z is saying they don't want to work. They're sick of it. And it's because there's no work life balance. Back in the days, in the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, our grandparents' time, they grew up, it could be a one income household. The mom could stay home. The dad had the factory job. He may work 30 to 40 hours, whatever. And it could have been crazy and detrimental because if you were in some of those coal mines in some of these different areas, you would have health issues. But at the very least, the family would survive on that income. But that's not available for Gen Z. and millennials anymore. Hence why people are no longer having children. And so people are aborting children. People are having birth control. And, you know, the European man, they were like, birth control is the best invention ever. Yeah, except you're not repopulating. And so, what's that the best invention for? Destruction of the entire
They
earth?
just try to kill you. They try to kill you.
So, we need to be very careful about what we say is the best. Like, what part of birth control is the best for quote unquote women's rights? You want so many rights that now there's no humans left after you. Look at the population decline in America. Look at the population decline in Spain, Italy, Portugal, Japan, China. All of these places are westernized, have technology, and have these birth control methods. And so, I don't know, y'all. We look. Make it make sense. It has to make sense. Some of this stuff we have to make it make sense. I know college teaches us not to do critical thinking. I know the K through 12 system teaches us not to do critical thinking, but please, if you care about humanity as a whole, just really ask yourself some difficult questions. Because the best societies in the world are not repopulating, and so they're not even going to be on the world anymore. In the next 50 to 100 years, they're going to be obsolete.
It's just going back to the ancient path. Like, really.
It's crazy. It's really crazy. Like, you have to go back to the ancient path. It's not even debatable. But as we see in Jeremiah 6:16, people are like, no, I don't want to walk therein. I want to continue with my Uncle Sam patriotic flag marching all around. And so, if that's what you want to do, continue. But we will continue posting these videos for the remnant that does perceive this call and that does perceive, yeah, I need to get back to natural. I need to get back to not depending on a debt consumerist mentality. I need to get back to seeing my cousins in Africa because they are my people. And so it only makes sense that I would go live amongst my people. That's just facts.
Exactly. And no, I was seeing a couple of comments about where is it?
Leave your questions below. We have created a new training in our eCourse Dream Life Africa, and somebody already signed up.
Yeah, that's really the
Friday.
solution. So I saw a comment. They were saying like you gotta tell people where we are and stuff and this and that and to help them and whatever. No, no. We did that. You gotta know where you come from because we came over here doing that. That's not the solution. We figured out what's best for us is to be with our family and put our skills and talents together to help you guys. And that's basically what you were just talking about. So
Yeah,
I'll
that's
let you
it.
keep talking.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
But yeah, people also, a thing with Americans, I don't know if this is an American thing, maybe it's just a human thing. Humans like to just follow, 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 follow. But that's not the solution. Don't follow, 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 follow. Turn off the TV, turn off Netflix, listen to the Most High's voice within you, then you will have clarity on where you should be. Because what's for me ain't what's for you, and what's for you ain't what's for me. And so you're going to have your own relationship with your creator. You're going to have critical thinking because you came into this world alone and you're going to go out alone. And so you're going to have to figure things out for yourself the way the Most High has ordained it for you. And I understand that's work. That requires fasting. That requires diligence. That requires being uncomfortable. That requires shutting people out. But that's the only way to do it. That's just 100%. That's it. That's the only way. Because you can't follow people your entire life. I know my parents would always tell me, don't be a follower.
Yeah.
Don't be a follower.
You can't be. You like say that's why we always tell people. You can't look, okay, you can watch us, we giving you information, but you gotta do your own thing.
Yeah.
We try to give all the information that we have experienced, but you gotta do your own thing.
Yep.
Like you gotta pick your own country that suits you, right?
Yeah.
You gotta pick your own city that suits you, your own village or whatever you want to do, whatever fits you. You gotta do it. You gotta pick your own food. I can't say, hey, go get some potatoes and eggs because that's what I like.
Yeah, you eat that every day for the past decade.
She like pancakes.
I love pancakes.
So I don't like pancakes.
Yeah, so good
I
with
can't.
blueberries.
So you get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We can't tell you exactly what to do. You gotta think for yourself.
Yeah.
Like that's what it is.
These are dangerous times to not think for yourself too. If you can't
Really.
think for yourself, you need seriously. Y'all better shut Netflix off. Y'all better really get in quiet. And if you can't stand to be alone and quiet,
You don't want to seek peace.
start fasting. Start doing something. You gotta do something. What?
No.
A monkey?
No, I wish. I ain't never seen a monkey here.
Well, it was all loud, so I was like, dang, is it a monkey?
No.
But yeah, that's it. You gotta do the due diligence.
This
Because
guy.
you can't be a lazy, And this is Proverbs. It says, "The hands of the diligent makes rich, but sluggards will come to naught." And this is a law, a universal law. And so, just by being diligent with your plans and diligent with what you're doing, you're going to reap the rewards of the universal law. But if you continue to not follow the laws and you continue to want to be lazy, you want to be a follower, you want to be this, you want to be that, you're going to reap the rotten fruit of that.
Yeah.
And there's going to be no one to blame for it because he already laid it out in the book of Proverbs. He already laid it out. The hands of the diligent make rich. And so when you're planning your move to Africa, the same thing applies. Just like when you're trying to get a new job.
Mm-hmm.
You may have a referral, somebody told you about the company, then you get in the company, you're like, oh my gosh, why'd you refer me to this company?
Yeah, like that's really what it is. That's what a lot of people do.
America has made us
they'll
like
go
this,
in
though.
a job that they don't know nothing about. They just hate, and they stuck because that's what it is.
It's laziness.
Yeah.
It's because the consumerist mentality partly.
Handouts. People love handouts.
How does the fruit and veggies taste out there?
Okay, tell them turn it on.
The fruits and veggies are delicious.
Yeah.
They were a little bit better in Tanzania. Well, I can't say that because here we have blueberries. It's give and take. You have some African countries that don't have blueberries and
They
strawberries.
got it. You just gotta find it. You gotta go to certain places.
I ain't find no blueberries.
You really gotta be local to understand where you gotta go.
But yeah, the fruits are better. They're way better than America. Avocados, for example, were huge, enormous. Bananas everywhere. Banana trees are everywhere. Tomatoes. We just saw a huge tomato in that store the other day. Like, I don't know if that was normal for it to be that big. That was a huge tomato.
I ain't seen nothing.
Jaslyn and I saw. We were like, why is that tomato so enormous? But everything tastes fresher. The cost of living is 118% cheaper right now, according to these internet sites we get on. And so what y'all can do right now, actually, if y'all really are serious, let me get out of here before the election. What you can do today is choose your top 5 countries, choose them, and then you're going to see cost of living in US versus ex-African country.
Yeah. Go ahead. I'll let you go.
Because you're going to see the rent is 60 to 70% cheaper. You're going to see the food and vegetables. You're like, you going to get through that list and be like, wait, why am I still in America? You go really be salty, like, why am I wasting my time? Because once we did that research back in 2019, 2018, we're like, this don't, and this was way back then, like, this don't really add up to be in America. So how much more now? So we knew in 2019, 2018, even 2017, okay, if we're going to actually move to Africa, we're going to have to incorporate a business. We're going to have our business based in America so that we can leverage a stronger currency until the time where that stronger currency goes out. And the plan is before that stronger currency goes out and the new system comes in, whether it's BRICS, whatever it is, you either are off grid, you have your stuff set up, or you're not dependent on that currency. That's the goal. That should be the whole goal.
Yeah.
I like America. I just hate the lies. Yeah, America is filled with lies. We personally don't like it. The only thing I like about America is my granny.
Yeah, just the family.
Yeah, my granny. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all. And I think it's because once you start traveling, you start seeing what other cultures are like, what other peoples are like, what other societies are like, where they welcome children, they love children, life is more simple. Even work-life balance is a thing, and you're like, ooh, America's twisted. Like, something's wrong.
Yeah.
Something's really wrong.
Too much. It's too much to deal with. Put it like that. I'd rather deal with everything that we deal with here than America.
Yeah, what do we deal with here?
We deal with a lot. I mean, it's a lot that happened since we've been here. Well, mainly, I say everything is good with the local people, but once you get to higher levels of people in power, that's the problem because they have the power to uh, have power over you if you allow it. We got all the power because we got the most high, but that's the only problem here in Africa.
So like the bureaucratic doing business,
Yeah,
having the
they try to
bureaucracy issues, the
they
corruption. That's
yeah
the
the
thing
corruption. That's
that's
it.
difficult.
But here on the ground, everyday life is way better.
Yeah.
Is way better.
And in this country we're in, the corruption is super low. The country we're in, here's a hint. It is on the list of the least corrupt countries in Africa. We say this every video, so y'all can understand. Y'all want to look into this. Look at the least corrupt countries in Africa. And you're going to see a list of beautiful countries. You look at their processes and you're like, oh,
And
this
then
is really simple.
and look up how much in the country you're looking at, how much do an average person make a month? Because you'll be shocked. People
Yeah.
really survive on $600 to
Yeah.
$1,000, and
Yeah.
that's living good.
Yeah.
They got their house good. They going out to restaurants and all of that. So I'm telling you, make $1,000 in Africa. I mean, I'm thinking just one person, but that's all it really takes. One person. If you're one person making $1,000 here in
Even four
Africa,
people, that would work.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you really got to think.
Especially sub-Saharan Africa. I mean, even because Morocco, I hear Morocco is affordable as well. I mean, just Africa as a whole, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you have, if you're a white American, you have Europe that you can go back to. You can look up your ancestry. Are you from Ireland? Are you from Germany? Are you from wherever you're from? Because it's going to be a lot easier than America, even for the white Americans, because the country is just, when you have a capitalist society like that, there's no cap, there's no end to the corruption, there's no end to, okay, let's just keep getting more and more money, let's keep bringing more people in, let's keep going. That's the whole thing. There's no cap on it. So it's just going to continue with high inflation. It continues with the insane corruption. It continues with funding genocides around the world because they first did genocide to the people here. And so that is the ingrained topic in America. That's the theme. That's like, when you see the word America, you should have in parentheses genocide.
Yeah.
It's just reality. Like, that's that. And so people are getting fed up with it. You also have the protests that are happening right now at Columbia University. I saw a few videos of that. That's like, ooh.
It's just so much going on. It's so much going on. Man, the migrants starting to protest and stuff, talking about they not leaving. So, yeah. America teaches everybody that like this is the way to have stuff change. It goes way back. But as we see, it doesn't work.
Yeah, America just doesn't. It's not logical anymore. So
The American dream is to leave America.
it is. And type that in. You're going to come across a whole slew of channels, not just Black Americans, white Americans, Indian Americans, Chinese Americans who came. I actually saw a comment the other day under this video about the American dream being obsolete. And so the new American dream is to leave America. And a few, how do you say they're, okay, a few people from Thailand and a few people from China, they were like, yeah, we came back here like 30 years ago, but now we're about to go back home because it's crazy. And it's like everybody can see the writing on the wall. Most people that don't have confusion on their minds, that aren't just bombarded with too much information, most people can see it. It's very clear. People are diversifying and they're living their best lives abroad. The main reason they're diversifying is work-life balance. Even the rich. The rich don't leave to make more money. The rich leave because they already got money. And so now they want to be able to just sit down and have time with their families.
Exactly.
So you ask, why would a rich person leave? They're leaving in droves because the work-life balance don't add up. They already got resources, so they don't really care. They're like, this place, it's all right to have my little money there for a minute, but let me go build out somewhere else. Let me go live somewhere else. It's good to have investments there, but let me go enjoy my life in another place.
Yeah.
Because, man, the peace that you have in these coastal African countries, any African country, just because the society and culture is built on that.
Mm-hmm.
Just because the society and culture is not rape and over sexualize everybody.
Really?
That's it. When you have rape ingrained in the culture, that's what you're going to see everywhere you go. But yeah, y'all, I think that's all we got for this video. Y'all leave your questions in the comments. As I was saying earlier, we do have the new module in Dream Life Africa. If you're someone that's like, okay, where do I start with moving to Africa? What exactly do I do? What do I even look into? Go ahead and check out the link in the description. Use code NOMAD, NOMAD, at checkout to get $75 off, because we added a new module with the 5 top markets, which are Nigeria, South Africa, Mauritius, Tanzania, and Kenya, so that you guys can see, okay, which one of these is going to be wise for me to go to for a 5-year to 10-year plan, because that is something that you guys want to look at when you're moving. Look out 5 to 10 years. Don't look out 1 to 2 years. Look out 5 to 10 years. What does this look like holistically for the people after me and for my family for the next 5 to 10 years? What nations are by these African countries?
Yeah.
Right? What nations are by
which one's
these countries?
gonna keep growing and which gonna fall?
Yeah, what's going on in these African countries? Do they promote digital nomads? Do they promote a certain skill set that I have? Do they promote teachers? Do they promote agriculture, right? Some economies in Africa are heavily based on agriculture, and you can get all kinds of rebates and tax-free incentives just for investing in the superfoods in these countries. This is the research y'all should be doing now. If you're someone that's not into agriculture, what you can do, you can look into, okay, do they need marketing? Do they need videography?
Yeah.
Do they need coding? Most African countries need coding, but it just depends on if they're developed enough to receive the coding and if they're at that standpoint. If you're a software engineer, right? If you're a contractor in tech and you're like, man, this is working at Microsoft, working 40, 50 hours a week, it pays low, but I'm stressed.
Mm-hmm.
Right? People always say that. I always hear people talk about how stressed they are. Okay, so let me contract with an African company and move to Africa and do part-time. When I tell y'all, I have not worked full-time since, gosh,
It's pretty much 6
20,
years.
2016.
Yeah, because you always used to do part time anyway.
Yeah.
You ain't never worked. Oh, you did. When he was
At Westminster, I did.
I did like
a little
first one.
full-time, little get that extra money. But y'all, since 2016, I don't work part-time, and I make way more, because I'm a contractor. I'm an entrepreneur. So my time isn't tied to my hours.
Yeah.
My money is tied to my value that I bring a company. That's what we teach y'all how to do it, because
it really depends on person, though. I always say it, but it just depends on the person. Some people just don't want to do it.
Yeah, some don't. But if
they
you do,
they don't
go
believe
ahead.
it. They don't believe that you can work less hours and make more money.
The struggle belief is the issue.
So, it just really depends on person. If y'all familiar with our life, I always say it. I'm gonna keep saying it. It depends on the person.
Don't believe it, because I was just in this entrepreneur circle on Friday, and they were saying the same thing. It's so interesting. Belief is so interesting, that your own mind can block you from living your best life. Your own mind can work against you because you don't believe that you're worthy to actually make more than $20 an hour, $25 an hour, $30 an hour. You believe you have to be strapped to a 9 to 5 for 40 hours a week, 35 hours a week. I don't believe that. I don't believe that's in my life legacy, so I don't do it. Straight up, absolutely not. I need work-life balance.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a mom of 5. I love to travel. Absolutely not. I want to go bake some peanut butter cookies. I'm not about to clock into nobody's clock. Absolutely. Look, I have my websites. I have multiple websites now because that's part of my new marketing strategy. And like the people are saying in the comments, you have to believe in yourself, because if I never believed in myself, I would never did it. You also have to have a supportive partner. If you never believed in me, I would never did it either. You would never done it either. Like, if you got somebody in your ear that's like, oh, you can't, oh no, oh no, you're not worthy to make money. You're not worthy to be financially free and be out of debt.
And then once you get away from those people, it's like, is there people like that still? because we don't hear it. All the people that
we shut them out.
all the people that surround us, that's connected to us, that oh hallelujah, man, I know the Most High gonna make it work out.
Right.
You know, like, oh
Abundance.
yeah, I'm thinking about doing this, thinking about doing this. Oh yeah, go, do it, because I know it's gonna work out.
Moving in abundance versus moving in scarcity and limitations.
Real. So,
Mm.
man, you just gotta change your environment. They got studies on that too, like with rats and stuff.
Right.
And just
you put that's a good one. I love psychology. That's a good one.
Man, y'all really gotta start doing some research.
Ooh.
I'm pretty sure y'all do. I'm not saying y'all don't, but the people that is like double-minded. You can't be double-minded, especially
a double-minded
in
man is unstable in all his ways.
These last days, you can't be double-minded. You got to know what you want, do it. Spend a month or two studying it. You'll be good.
Yeah, because I mean, at this rate, it'd even be more affordable because we actually know of a few families that do this as well. Digital nomad families that travel with their children and go to the most glorious I love looking at this certain Instagram. It's just like it's beautiful, especially for Black families to do it. 3 children, they're doing the thing. They're in Abu Dhabi. They be all over, and they're like they've been out of America since 2015. And being connected with people like this, it just lets you see what's possible. So you're like, okay, wow, I really can do this. Like people are living like this, and they're living their best life, spending less traveling full time than they spend in America.
Really?
Man. But because of belief, our people disbelief, our people are cursed. The curse is disbelief. So our people like, oh, it's not possible. There's no way. I don't know. My children don't deserve a life like that. I don't know. Well, if you don't know, nobody knows.
Yeah.
You gotta know. You gotta have a vision. You gotta have hope. If you don't have hope, what do you have? If you don't have faith, if you don't believe the Most High is with you and that He created this earth for you to have dominion, not for you to be trapped to somebody's 40-hour 9 to 5, and then they take your retirement at 50 and now you're stressed out with high blood pressure. That's not life. That's wage slavery. And it's theft on your life. Like your whole purpose is gone down the drain. You could have been an artist, could have been a writer, could have been a speaker, could have been, whoever you're meant to be. But you're trapped working for somebody else for 40, 50 hours a week. It's good to do that for a season, when you're starting out to get some experience. But all things must come to an end. The book of Ecclesiastes says there is a season for everything. So the season of 9 to 5, it can't last forever. Or else you're just going to be married to the 9 to 5 and then you won't have time for your family. I mean, that's your choice. Everybody got choices.
Depends on person. You got end with anything?
That's it. That's all I got. Any questions?
Yes, if there's any questions, drop it in the comments. Drop it in the chat. I guess we'll start from now. Make sure you like the video.
My speaker or microphone, whatever this thing is. Any questions about people said they want to move? What do they do? Write down your top 5 African countries. Choose ones that are visa free for African Americans, for Americans. Look into digital nomadism in Africa, and then align your skill set with the African country.
Yeah.
Then just write about your plans.
And buy our course. Buy Dream Life Africa. It's a discount. $75 off.
Yeah, $75.
That's a good start. I'm not just saying that because we have testimonies. People really take it serious, get the information. They come over here, man, I'm so glad that I really took that course serious.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, that's good to hear. That's actually good to hear. Wow.
Yeah, we hear it all the time, even people in this chat.
Yeah.
Because it just makes life easier because I would just hate to be in a situation.
Somebody said where
you're just throwing money away. You just don't know how to operate because it's so different. Where do I get lamb at?
At the store and the butcher.
Yeah, the butcher or the store. I don't care about America, Africa, Jamaica, all these names, which are just representatives of the brain, different
sectors,
different sections of the beast of this planet. That's my only point.
This person here, man, you just need to look. I don't know what your problem is,
You're funny.
but yeah.
What's the next time I can't see? Zillion, you serious? The struggle. But my objection is not practical. I work a 9 to 5 on call and I have no time for my family. I'm so sorry, Brian. But you have skills that job has you
Yeah.
on there for, so you can monetize your own skill sets, look into freelancing. That way you could contract with other companies and have more time because they'll look at you as an entrepreneur, as a consultant, instead of seeing you as a 9 to 5 worker.
Community. We done that plenty of times, and the Most High led us away from trying to build a community. But our community is right here under our household.
Yep.
So that's what it is for us. We've been through all that twice.
Yeah.
So 3 times really, about to go 3 times. But that's not what the Most High wants us to do. He wants us to shepherd his children to be what they need to do because it's about the next generation.
Yeah, but we do have Dream Life Africa. That's community.
Yeah, that's what community.
That's,
Like, we
you
build
know.
communities. You just gotta really want to be in it.
So I quit to live off my savings. If I were you, I wouldn't
But
quit
don't quit. Don't ever
until
quit.
you have your freelance entrepreneurship thing going, until you start your business. You don't just quit unless you have something else lined up. Like when my husband was in America, he would mow grass.
Yeah, that was
Like
like
if you
a
got
side
something lined up,
always.
some kind of entrepreneurship, something, you have to have something lined up. You don't just quit.
Yeah, I would mow grass myself. I have my clients, and on the weekends I would go work with someone uh, to make. In that day, I'll probably make $100, $120. Depends how many hours we work.
Yeah.
So you gotta just keep going.
Yeah, definitely don't just quit to live off your savings. I think that's another huge mistake people make when they come to Africa. I don't know where they get this notion because they don't hear that on our channel. We won't tell you to just quit your job and just move off your savings and just sell your
Yeah,
house and not have a business started. We tell
you gotta
y'all
have money
every
coming in.
time, you better incorporate your business. You better start it in America. You better get your clientele. And then once you have a repeatable process and the systems in place, then you can leave. Which is why we have Dream Life Africa and Multiply Your Talents to teach our people how to do this.
Yeah, like really. Yeah.
I just borrowed from my 401k. Oh, yeah, a lot of people are doing that now. Brian said, I appreciate your help. You are welcome.
Yeah, we probably get off the babies a week.
Been selling my belongings. Well, that's good. That's true. It is easier to quit when you're single. That's true. I mean, yeah, that's, we understand the American society as people tense, but yeah, that's why we tell y'all, just come out of America. You're going to be a much more peaceful person. Your high blood pressure will go down. You
Right.
won't be, all attitude
Yeah, your
and
thoughts will
crazy
be
acting
clear.
anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. Things will be good. You'll live your best life.
Yep.
As long as you use wisdom and discernment.
Yeah. Probably. Look, we young too. I'm 29. She's 28. So we're young, and all praise to the Most High. We are in this position.
Yes, yes. Now check out the link in the description after the video. I did not drop the link in the chat. If you want Dream Life Africa, check that out. Daughter of the Most High, keep doing y'all and what's best for your family. Congrats. Thank you, sis. Blessings to you too.
Toda.
And yeah, I think that's it. That was a good video. We had some good conversations.
That is it, guys. Make sure
That's
you like
all.
the video. We appreciate you guys for tuning in.
Yeah.
Let us know where you're from. I guess we didn't do that.
You're funny.
G over here is just quiet. I'm like, dang, I thought she was about to come in yelling.
That's funny. Thoughts on home ownership in Africa?
It depends on the country, depends on the person.
Look into the countries, and just for example, when I'm gonna buy something, I always look at reviews. Do not be a person that has these rosy eyeglasses and you're like, oh, well, I'm going to just do that. The first thing you see, do your due diligence. See reviews, see testimonials, see whatever social proof and credibility you can find. And if you can't find it, don't go. We even do that. If we're traveling and we're trying to book an Airbnb, I'm not booking an Airbnb that don't got reviews. I don't care. Because I have 5 children. I'm not about, no. If you don't have reviews, if you don't have social proof, I'm not with it. So you need to deal the same way with home ownership. You need to deal the same way with land ownership. But Africa is a phenomenal place to buy land, especially Ghana, Nigeria, to build houses. I've seen a lot of our people building out in Ghana and Nigeria, Senegal. It's easy because it's affordable. The only thing that would get in the way is if you're having land issues, like somebody saying it's somebody else's land, or maybe you have some kind of crazy neighbors or some kind of weird tension. So yeah, definitely if you're looking at building a house, figure out which economies are best for that. Because some economies, similar to one that we're in, that if you buy a certain house at a certain dollar amount, you get residence and citizenship. But it's all about doing your research, home ownership research. But understand also it's a cash society. So where in America you might be able to put 20, 30,000 down and then you pay some crazy mortgage for, however many years. Here, you need to have the cash. You need to have 50% up front. Hence why most people in Africa save for a very, very long time. Then they just start building on their own or their purchase of property. South Africa, another good one because you can own it outright. Another good one for ownership. And, the tourism is growing there. It's always good to buy property in a country where the tourism is going to continue to rise so that the value of the property will increase. That's always an excellent way to invest, an excellent strategy. Looking at, okay, is this going to depreciate or increase over time? Or are you so far out that it's not even developing yet? Maybe it'll develop in 20, 30 years. That's another thing to look out. Or are you so far somewhere where it's like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have did that. Maybe that was a little bit too far. Because that's a problem Americans have too. We're a little bit too far in the future because Africa is about 30 years behind America with technological advancements.
I wouldn't even say that. I say a couple of years now. Being here, I'm starting to see
Africa?
Everything America's doing. Yeah.
Really? No.
I wouldn't say 30 years.
I disagree because when I look at the marketing industry, it's years behind. When you look at technological advancement, it's decades behind. I would disagree on that. Especially, you go to Ohio, you go to Miami, Florida, you go to San Francisco, Atlanta, which isn't a bad thing. It's just, it is what it is. Yes, our daughter, Gianna, she just woke up from her nap. She's like, what are y'all doing?
She's like, I know I just got to stay here. You
Hi,
good?
G.
You awake? Yeah.
You still sleepy?
Okay. All right, guys. I believe that is it.
Yeah, that's all, y'all.
Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll talk to you guys the next live. Shalom.
Shalom, shalom. You want to say bye, G?
You want to say bye? Come.
She's like, Mom. Oh, she's smiling. You're happy now? Say bye.
Say bye-bye.
Bye.
Say mambo.
Do you remember how to speak Swahili?
Say, I'm hungry.
She's like, no thanks.
No. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Seek peace.
Shalom, shalom.